Hello, hello everyone, MVL here, and today we are going to play some arcade games using MAME on RetroArch. I want to show a bunch of stuff in this stream. This is kind of updated from the last time I did this, where I showed off a bunch of arcade games using MAME, and also that you could do Neo Geo on RetroArch as well. I have previously done a video showing how to run MAME arcade games on RetroArch, which you can check out on my channel. There's a fully edited video showing you the process of doing that as well, of how to run games using the RetroArch program. At the time, the program had updated, and I think I had pretty much at the time the more up-to-date process of doing it with the current overlay. They used to have an overlay that looked very similar to the PSP or the PS3, if you will, and now they have this more sort of Android operating system friendly looking interface. You can change the interface if you want, but as a more up-to-date look, you can check out that video. I also previously did another live stream where I showed the different kind of games you could run on this as well, where you can run games that have 3D capabilities, games that are quite similar to the Dreamcast, if you will. I think there is a Flycast, which is a Dreamcast emulator, which certain games that are Sega orientated work on better than using MAME itself. There's also Neo Geo emulators themselves, but I actually find that using MAME itself works a little bit better, at least in my instance with the files that I have been using. You do have to have the BIOS file though in the folder with the ROMs for that. Something else I explain on the video as well. Another thing I want to mention really quickly is my list of games, which I will go through in a minute here, has been quite updated since last time. I've seeing a lot of recommendations and adding those games to my list. These are arcade games and Neo Geo games. Neo Geo games I don't really have a way to get hold of, and arcade games in particular I don't have a way to get the original cabinets. Many of these games were never released in any particular form on a home system, so this is pretty much the only way to do so. Now, a couple of these games I do have on collections that have been released. Anytime I do have a capability, like there's a mini arcade system I can get, I will get that. And any compilation of games that comes out that I can get my hands on, I will do that. But for the most part, many of these games that I remember, that is, you can't really get hold of them in any particular way. And I have been playing through a bunch of games. Some of the games you'll see, like Aliens vs. Predator, Night Slashers, and Willow, games like that, I have completed using RetroArch, and I wouldn't have been able to play them without that system, so that's very cool. I'm going to show a bunch of games today. One other thing I want to mention is there's a bunch of arcade games, particularly Zapper games, that won't work without the more modern hardware. Like, they're designed for computers of a very particular build. So one game in particular was Silent Hill the Arcade game, which I was able to get from a website called the Collection Chamber. I want to mention that now in case I forget later. There's an awesome website called the Collection Chamber, which has a bunch of the more modern Zapper, like light gun games, which they have sorted out for you to work. I still had to do a little bit of tinkering to get this to work, but I was able to play and complete Silent Hill the Arcade game, which was a great experience. But yeah, those games are meant more for like a particular build of like a Windows style operating system, and they're very, very particular. So the more modern games like that, arcade games, they won't really work on MAME. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to play a couple of games today. I'm going to play a Neo Geo game. I want to show you guys what Neo Geo looks like. And then we're going to play a couple of arcade games as well. I want to show you a Zapper game, how that works using the mouse. And I want to show you some awesome arcade games as well. Maybe some you may have lesser known as well. So this is going to be a lot of fun. But first of all, I'm going to show you some of the... Oh, by the way, I apologize for the capture window here. It's sometimes going to go black every now and then. That's just a thing that the capture window does when you are using this type of capture method on OBS. But for the most part, it seems to work. And I hope I have the volume levels set up well as well. So we'll see. Kind of a trial as you go type deal. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention is that sometimes there's some weird issues that happen with RetroArch. So like if all of the thumbnails disappear, don't worry about that at all. They would come back next time I boot up the system. But yeah, unless I remember anything else as we move on, I will mention it as we go. But let's go over some of these games here for the system. So these are all Neo Geo games I'm going to start off showing here, and we start off with Alpha Mission 2. Hey Slayer768, how you doing, my friend? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Enjoying the holidays. So bank holiday over here in the UK as well, given the time for sure. So that's been enjoyable. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Appreciate you dropping by. So we've got Alpha Missions 2 here. Many of these are shmup games. We have... Okay. Just had to click on the window there, I think, to actually allow me to use the D-pad here. We have Andro Dunos, which is actually getting a sequel recently. Hey Seacrest, how you doing, my friend? Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you dropping by. You doing good, Slayer? It's good to be my friend. I'm doing alright. Man, I'm going to have to speed through these games, actually, because there's a lot of them. I added a lot, especially to the arcade side. So there's that. Hey Silent Bit, how you doing, my friend? Oh, and before I forget as well, because I'm just remembering stuff as I'm saying it, there are CHD style ROMs that you need to, if you have the ROM file, that you also have a CHD file. I think it's called that. I forget. Whatever it's called, you have to put the larger part. If it's a massive file, you have to put that in the same folder, in a folder, an unzipped folder named the same as the ROM file, and have that not zipped. Got a day off tomorrow, Seekers. Hey, that's awesome, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Hey Henry, how you doing, my friend? Welcome. Yeah, this game's getting a sequel, and I think Pixel Heart has a version of this. You can actually, the original that you can get for the Neo Geo. Got Bang Bang Busters here. This wasn't actually distributed, if I have this correctly, by Neo Geo. I think it was distributed by Visco, and Pixel Heart also, I think, it's about £100 or so, but you can get a copy of this game for the original Neo Geo. So that's actually pretty cool. I only found that out recently. Blazing Star here for the Neo Geo. We have Cross Swords here, and Cross Swords 2. This is actually a Neo Geo CD game, and I tried it with the Neo Geo CD emulator. And this is one thing I also wanted to mention. If one thing isn't working, try different things. For instance, Flycast, the Neo Geo, Flycast, the Sega style emulator, works with a lot of stuff that MAME should do, but doesn't. Oh, and another thing I wanted to quickly say is when I last played that game I played on Flycast on my last stream, the screen was running slow, so I had to do it from a different computer, I think is how I did it. But that was because my setup on my PC was wrong. My other screen was set to 50 Hz, and that's the reason why it was running slower. There was no other reason than that, because I thought it was weird that on my main screen it worked at fine speed, but it worked at different speed on the other screen. So that was why. I'm doing this on my second screen now, but the screens does still go black sometimes, which is a bit weird. But yeah, sometimes you have to use different cores. Neo Geo is awesome, Slayer. It is awesome. Yeah, so many games I want to get my hands on. Recently, I saw a consoleized Neo Geo system that was Squadica Retro has made. I would have loved to have grabbed that. It was cool. So, essentially, Neo Geo, the arcade hardware is almost identical to the home console hardware. There's two different systems, but they're very similar. And that's why a lot of stuff works on the same thing. And it's one of the systems that is way more common for people to use a multi-game cartridge, like all of the games in one cartridge, because it's just so difficult to get these games, and the hardware for that matter, especially over here in the UK. You good? Playing Shenmue 1 and 2 Seacrest? I actually have Shenmue 3, the complete edition, on the way from Limited Run Games. AES and MVS, yeah, exactly, Slayer. They're so similar, except the way the cartridge loads in, that things essentially work on both of them. You don't know as much as you should. Myself either, Slayer. I've only ever seen a Neo Geo console in person once, and the person wanted £1,000 for it. So Metal Slug is another great one, Seacrest. I actually don't have Metal Slug. Oh, I was about to say I don't have Metal Slug. I haven't played Metal Slug on the PC because I have Metal Slug on a bunch of collections, like on the Wii and stuff. So I do have that one. That's one that is actually pretty easy to get hold of, ironically. Not in the original system, but easy to get hold of. You had power was off for a while, Henry? Oh, that sucks, man. It sucks when you got no power, for sure. Cyberlip here. So a bunch of the games were recommended to me, and a bunch of these games I picked up after the fact. Like Double Dragon is another game. I have a port of Double Dragon, but not on the Neo Geo. Gangroo here. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention as well. Some Zappa games as well. I'm saying these things as I remember them because I had a lot of stuff I wanted to say about emulation. Zappa games like House of the Dead don't work on MAME, but they do work on an emulator called the Sega Model 2 specifically. So that works on that. Wanted to mention that because I will forget I bought House of the Dead for the PC the other day, and the PC game didn't work because it only worked on 32-bit systems. But I did get the arcade version to work, so I have that. We could go play Neo Geo together if we were close by, Slayer. That'd be awesome, my friend. Go to see Brian Trusty. Well, Brian Trusty would probably try and make me play that dated console. What's the system he's obsessed with? The that random. Oh, I don't even remember the name of it because I've never actually seen one. That tiny system that is now offline. John Hancock was a fan of it as well, if I remember correctly. I can't remember the name of it. I honestly can't. But it's like a little system. It was a failed console, but he used to be a big proponent of that. Yeah. But I would say, you know, to the common gamer, it might be equally as obscure as the Neo Geo, because like I don't know anyone who has a Neo Geo like in person. But like I said, Scottico Retro had one a while ago. I missed out on that, but it was cool to see that, you know. Ooh yeah, that's it, Slayer. Thank you, because at one point I was gonna do a Halloween video about the Ouya and to resurrect it like Frankenstein's monster. It was one of the ideas of the many ideas I came up with for my Halloween videos. So I came across that, and I was going to message Brian Trusty to see if he wanted to be a part of that, but eventually I decided to go in a different direction for that Halloween video. But yeah, my Halloween videos are always crazy. Anyway, Ghost Pilots here. We have Gurin here, puzzle game. We have Last Resort there. Magician Lord. Malamili, puzzle game. Metal Slug 2. I have all the Metal Slug games. As well as the Shock Trooper games, I have those games like on collection, so I don't really need to play them on this. We have Money Puzzle Exchange, Mutant Nation. I will be doing a Mutation Nation rather. I will be doing a Neo Geo game on this stream to show how that works. As you can see, the core is listed as MAME. I haven't updated many of these cores. On the last video, I showed RetroArch. I believe almost all of the games I had working that I was showing. This time around I've added a lot of games and not necessarily all of them actually work at this time. Now 1975, Ninja Combat, Ninja Commando, Previous Soccer House 2. I may have some games in the arcade section that are actually Neo Geo games. Like I mentioned, the hardware is so similar that I may have misplaced some of them in the other folder. I actually have so many games in the arcade folder that it's slightly impractical at this point, so I may need to split those up. Polestar, and I will say normally I would, if I was only doing like one game on the this style of emulation, I would do that from a different computer rather than use two screens because it's a little bit easier, and HDMI that in. Robo Army here, Sengoku 2 and Sengoku 3. I actually have, I think, a bunch of these games on collections for like the Switch and stuff like that. Sonic Wings, also known as Aero Fighters 2. Sonic Wings 3, also known as Aero Fighters 3. Top Hunter, Roddy and Kathy. Twinkle Star Sprites. Viewpoint. Z-Blade. Many of these games I've never even seen in person before, so it's really cool to find out about them. And Zintrick. Alright, so let's click over to the arcade. We'll come back to here in a moment. Click over to the arcade games right now and go through these. Right. So there's going to be a lot of these, so I'm going to go through these fairly quickly. Lots of game secrets, I know, right? Now the annoying thing is with these games, actually, I also want to mention this, is I'm using this RetroBit controller here. And actually the RetroBit RetroArcade is what got me more interested and more believing that like arcade stuff could be emulated well. Although the problem was with that system, I couldn't get every arcade game to work, and in actual fact, in the UK version, it would not run arcade games at all, but from ROMs you put on it. So there was a couple of games like the Simpsons arcade game that like I wanted to play, the X-Men arcade game, that I had to go to the PC and had to work out how to do it. The good thing about RetroArch that you can't do on MAME itself is run different cores of MAME. So instead of having multiple installs of MAME, you can just have RetroArch and different cores and change the core for the game. The only annoying thing is remapping the controls. It's not as easy as using something like the Retro Freak. Their buttons are listed differently on every core. Sometimes they're listed as like X, Y, Z or what have you, and sometimes they're listed as 1, 2, 3, 4. And the problem with this controller I'm using, it's actually a fine controller, but these shoulder buttons are really annoying and not necessary at all. And the problem is that this shoulder button here, the left shoulder button, it recognizes predominantly as button 1. Whereas the start and select buttons, it does have them as start and credit input most of the time on most games, which is really good. More often than not, what would be your first button is often the button here, the L button, which is really annoying. But more problematic than that is what these buttons equate to when you're remapping the controls is completely different. Like, this may be, I don't know, any number of these buttons listed on the instructions when you're trying to change the buttons. So changing the controls for the games is a complete guessing game until you get it right, and it gets quite frustrating. The good news is once you have the game remapped, you can save that remapping button map file, and then you never need to change it again. But yeah, so remapping the controls on the PC, often stuff on PC, is a pain, because you have to get patches, you have to run particular files to set things up properly. You had to do that with the Silent Hill arcade game, actually. There was a file that needed to be set up to run it properly. On the Sega Model 2 arcade emulator, I had to run a calibration for the zapper to make that work properly with a mouse. I have everything set up for the games I want to show you on this stream, hopefully, so that shouldn't be a problem. But just so you guys know, it is not an easy street often for this, but it is pretty much the only way I know of doing it. I know other people are using things like I think there's like an AtGames device that does it, something like that. I think there is a Raspberry Pi, whatever that is, and a Mister, which is FPGA, I hear, which is pretty good. That's more like hardware emulation rather than emulating the game itself, so that should play better. But the problem is, as easy as those things may seem for people that are extremely knowledgeable about them, they're not actually easy for someone who is uninitiated. And the problem is that when people say, oh, it's so easy to set up this device. It's easy if you know how to set up the device. If you don't know how to set up the device, it's not very easy at all. It's very difficult and very frustrating. You have to build it yourself, put the operating system on, configure the controls and everything. It's very confusing. I have done a video about how to set up MAME arcade games, and that's as far as my knowledge goes. And my interest is entirely with mostly arcade games, because the other systems I can play on their actual systems. I would say a good way to go for if you want to do a singular system is perhaps get the console you want and then maybe get an EverDrive, which is like a multi-game cartridge you can put ROMs on. But anyway, other than that, let's go talk about these games. And by the way, I do advocate EverDrives, because even with an actual collection, that I've had such a high failure rate on my cartridges and on my discs in particular, that it gets to the point where the media is nice to collect, but it doesn't actually work. So that's another problem. Anyway, we'll go through these games without me rambling on. 64th Street, A Detective Story. If you know any of these games, feel free to chime in about them in the chat. Most of these games I don't know much about because they're arcade games, and I've had a lot of the arcades are no longer around anymore in my area. But I had a lot of great experiences with arcades, but mostly with things like Time Crisis and House of the Dead were my deal. Hey, Mystical Dorcas, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. I've dropped my controller on the floor. Okay, we'll pick that up in a moment, but we're going to pick up from the list here. So we have Ajax here, and we have Air Assault, Air Attack. A lot of these are shmups because I really enjoy shoot 'em up games. They're the good ones to play for like a little bit. Bunch of these I've come in and completed along the way as well. Hey, I hope you guys are doing well. It happens to you, Mystical, where you drop the controller. Man, yeah, I drop my controller a lot Fortunately, like, modern controllers are quite robust. I say that, actually. The older systems, like, you could probably drive a car over a Super Nintendo controller, it would be fine. You definitely wouldn't, but, you know, I digress. Air Gallet here. I tried to be consistent with the thumbnails here. I grabbed these thumbnails myself, and I'm trying to be consistent. If I had the time, I would make my own thumbnails for every game, obviously, but yeah, there you go. Alien Challenge. Alien Storm here. Alien versus Predator. It's a very minor thing, but the thing that I don't like is none of these are size consistent. How am I doing, Mr. Scott? I'm doing alright, my friend. Thanks for asking. And yeah, thanks for dropping by, my friend. I appreciate it. Thanks for checking out the stream. You guys are awesome. And we're actually gonna play some Aliens today. This is an arcade game of the Aliens film. You play as Ripley, even though you can see there on the thumbnail that they've changed the casting for Ripley, obviously. Alligator Hunt, which I believe I have on the Evercade, rather. Evercade. The Evercade is like a handheld system that they've got. Actually, I have one right here. I believe I have that Alligator Hunt game on this. There you go. There you go. We have Arabian Magic here. Bat Rider. Agent Dynamite. Assault. Assault Plus. So sometimes games get upgraded versions where they have extra content. So sometimes I'll have the same game on more than once. We're playing Outrun in the arcade. Dude, Outrun had great music. Especially on like the Commodore 64. That was fantastic. Athena here. I have Athena on a Switch collection. We have Avenging Spirit here. And then we have Barak Duke 2. And then Barak Duke. Of course, because of the naming there, they are listed separately. It's another pet hate of mine that sequels are often named differently, so they appear in different alphabetical places. There's a lot of games in here, so it's hard to sort of order them in a good way. Got Batman here, the arcade game. Batsugun. Battle Back Raid. Battle Circuit, great game. I had that on a Capcom beat 'em up bundle, I think, on the Switch. It's really good. Battle Christ, and I have that collection. It's very cool. I think I featured it on a pickup video that would switch games. BC Story, but like I mentioned, a lot of these games haven't come out on consoles. Beast Busters Second Nightmare. Many of these games I haven't actually got through yet and given a go, but I do intend to. I've just heard about them or been recommended them. Black Heart, Black Tiger, Blade Master. I love the artwork on these thumbnails as well. Blast Off, although I would like them to be more uniform, as I mentioned. Blasteroids, Blazion, Blood Bros, Boogie Wings, Brave Blade, Burning Force, Cowboys of Moo Mesa, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. That was one of the games that really made me want to get into arcade emulation as well. This is one of the games that really made me want to do that. And I think I've completed this since the time. The games are based on the movies, Mystical. They're pretty much based on the movies. There's an Alien vs Predator game as well, which I either didn't have on this or I have it on my other system, but that's another great game as well. Aliens vs Predator is a great arcade game. I can't remember if it's on this list, but I have played through it. It's very cool. Captain America and the Avengers, Captain Commando, Change Airblade, TMMT collection. Yeah, I will definitely see Crest. Some of those games, like I mentioned, arcade previously only released, and some of them, like Hyperstone Heist, were much more expensive to get that game anywhere else other than that collection. Like Hyperstone Heist for the Mega Drive game is like £80. Never heard of some of these games, Mystical? Yeah, for sure. Like a lot of these I've been recommended and like heard about, so I wanna check them out for sure. There's Chiller, there's China Gate, there's Cloak and Dagger. There's Contra, I have Contra, of course. There's Cotton, and Cotton 2. I picked up the Cotton games recently on the Switch, some of those. Crazy Climber 2. There's Crime City. There's Crime Fighters. There's Crossbow. There's Siven. Dancing Eyes. Showed that last time. It's an interesting game. There's Darius. There's Dark Adventure. There's Dark Seal. There's Darkstalkers and Night Warriors. There's Deadeye. Demon Front. There's so many games here that I actually need to put them into like different categories, like beat 'em up games or platformers or Zapper games or shmups. Denjin Makai here. Desert Assault. Devastators. Devil World. Dear Maho. Donjonpachi. And Donjonpachi 2. B-Storm. Dogyun. Dolphin Blue. That was the game that used Flycast, which was the Dreamcast emulator. It's an arcade game, but this game has been ported to Dreamcast by people. So this game was never released outside of the arcades, but there was a port Dreamcast made. So yeah, this works best on the Flycast, which is actually a Dreamcast emulator, as you can see on the core there. Dragon Blaze. I have that, I believe, on a Switch collection. Dragon Breed. Dungeons and Dragons, Shadows of Mysteria. Dungeons and Dragons, Tower of Doom. Dynamite Cop. Dynamite Deca. Echo Fighters. Some of these have different names overseas. Hey there, be right, how you doing, buddy? Alien on MAME is great. Also, eSWAT. Yeah, those are great games for sure. For sure. Elevator Action and Elevator Action Returns. Escape from the Planet Robot Monsters. I used to have that in the Commodore 64. I'm not sure what happened to it. Esperar D. I think that got a Switch port, if I'm correct. Exorizer. Fantastic Journey. Fix 8. Gaia Crusaders. Gain Ground. Galaxy Raider. Galamedes. Gekkaraden. Ghoul Panic, which is a Namco Zapper game. Reminiscent of the Namco shooter games. I always love those. Gigawing. Gigawing 2. Again, these games, some of these games are different names. Glass, I remember hearing about because it was on the Evercade collection, one of those. Guardians. Denmark I 2. Guerrilla War. Gun Master. Gundrahar. Gunforce. Battlefire and Golf. Gunforce 2. Gun Nail. Gyrus. Halley's Comet. Haunted Castle. Castlevania game there. Heated Barrel. Hook. Hook had an arcade game. Ikaruga. Image Fight. Invasion the Abductors. I showed that one last time. It's a on-rail Zapper game. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park 3. I'm not sure if those games work or not, to be honest. They have 3D graphics on them. I haven't tested them yet, but those are the Jurassic Park arcade on-rail Zapper games. Karate Blazers. Carrion Cross. Knuckle Bash. Knuckle Bash 2. Laser Ghost. Legendary Wings. Let's Go Jungle. Another on-rails game. Lethal Thunder. Liberator. Lightbringer. Line of Fire. I think I have that on the Master System, but it's a different game. Locking Wild. Lupin 3, the shooting. I think that's Lupin the Third. Macross Plus. Magmax. Magic Sword. Magical Cat Adventure. Magical Crystals. Marvel Land. Mazinger Z. Metamorphic Force. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. The arcade game for Moonwalker was an isometric game, whereas the Genesis or Mega Drive 1 was a side-scrolling platformer. Missing in Action. Monster Maulers. Moonwall. Now, I made the joke on this time last time, because the obvious joke here is that, and it's a crude joke, that the character on the thumbnail there is mooning, as in showing the butt to the camera. Moonwalker. I've put Moonwalker on it twice. So that's a botch on my part. Mr. Heli. Mushi Mushi Pork. Mushi Misema. This is a black label version of this game, Mushi Misama. which means it has expanded content to it. I think this was released on the Xbox 360, but only in Japan. Mystic Riders, Mystic Warriors. I am never going to remember to remove that second version of Moonwalker. Sometimes I have two versions of a game if it's a different localization, but that is just a botch on my part, a mistake. Narc, New Tropical Angel, Nibbler, Night Slashers, Ninja Baseball Batman, Ninja Imake, Omega Fighter Special. Again, sometimes I'll have two versions of the game. One of it has different things going for it. Ordine, Legend there, Legend 2, Legend Special, and Legend Special Plus. Osman, Outzone, P47 the Phantom Fighter, Parodius, great games, Parodius, Pink Sweets, Prehistoric Isle, Pro Gear. Again, some of these games like might be on the Neo Geo system, so I might need to move them over. Puli Ruler, Quartet 2, R-Shark, R-Type Leo, Radiant Silvergun, Rail Chase 2, Revolution X. I have that on the Mega Drive actually. I had to do some Photoshop work on that poster there as well, because the only one I could find was all bent out of shape, so I had to reshape it. Robocop was good, be right, for sure. It's a shame we didn't get like the arcade versions, right, City? Ported to home. Robocop 2, and the sad thing about it is the reason that they don't port many old arcade games these days is simply because they're old and they don't want to do the work to convert them. Most of these were made workable through the hard work of fans, so that is really good. Robotron here, fantastic game. I think that's another like poster or page from a magazine, that one, because it just looked cool. Rogar Armor Force, Roller Games, Saint Dragon, Salamander 2, Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. This version of Sonic is actually played with a trackball controller, and it's an arcade exclusive. So, and it's specifically called Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. And it's played with a trackball controller. How about that? With an isometric angle as well. Sensei Alamatis, Selfina, Sexy Parodius, Shackled, Shadow Force, Shark Attack, Silent Dragon, Sly Spy, Sonic Blastman, Sonic Wings, also known as Aero Fighters. Okay, yeah, I definitely botched there, because that I also, again, I have that on the Neo Geo. This is why I need to take better stock of these. Sonic Wings Limited. Okay, so there's different versions of it. Space Firebird. Learning how to play games on a tablet, Mystical. I'm not very good with like tablets and stuff. Space Gun, Space Odyssey, Splash. I think this was on the Evercade, but I might have been wrong. Splatterhouse, of course, the first game. Excited to use the Switch, Mystical. Stormblade. Switch, there's a lot of good stuff on it. Strike Force, Super Real Darwin, Super Space Fortress Macross, and Super Space Fortress Macross 2, Superior Soldiers, SWAT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's the 2-player version I think I have on there. There's a 2-player and 4-player version of it. Terror Burst, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, the arcade version. Terror Cresta. I have Terminator 2 on something like the SNES, I think. The Berlin Wall, Cliffhanger, Edward Randy, The Crystal of Kings, The Game Paradise, Master of Shooting, Game Tengoku I have on the PS4 actually. The House of the Dead. Yeah, like I mentioned, I have this game on the PC. The Saturn version of this game is outrageously expensive. It's like £100. It's actually quite rare as well. It's rare and expensive. Like, you can't find many copies of it. So I have a PC version of this. I couldn't get it to run. It only works on 32-bit versions of Windows, so it wouldn't run on anything. But I was able to get this to work. This doesn't work on MAME, so this actually, I need to take this off of here because it doesn't work on this, but it does work on a Sega Model 2 emulator that you have to download separately. So yeah, that's something you need to look up. House of the Dead 4, again, I don't think House of the Dead 4 or House of the Dead EX, The Loving Deads, I don't think either of those work on this because they are modern modern Zapper games that were never ported to home consoles. And yeah, I don't believe that they work on this because they're very modern. The Lost World, Jurassic Park, that's Jurassic Park 2, the arcade game. The Punisher, beat 'em up game, classic. The Real Ghostbusters. The Return of Ishtar. The Simpsons, classic beat 'em up game. Glad you guys are doing well as well. The Tower of Druga. Thunder Blade. Thunder Jaws. Thundercade. Top Gunner. Trigon. Twinbee Yahoo! UFO Robo Danger. Dangar rather. Ultra X Weapons. Under Fire. Undercover Cops, the Japanese and the US version. There's slight differences. I want to see what they were. Valkyrie no Detsu. Vendetta. Violent Storm. I think Undercover Cops got a re-release, but I wasn't able to get my hands on it, unfortunately. For console version, that is, not the arcade. War the Final Assault. Warrior Blade. That runs on 2 screens, actually. And that's another great thing about this setup, that it will run properly on the 2 screens, as it should. Warriors of Fate. Willow. I'll be showing that game today. It's not like the NES version. It is a side-scroller. Wizard Fire. Wonder Momo, X-Men, Welcome to Die, Zane Sleena, ZexX, Zaviga, and Zero Team. Alright, we got through it. Alien vs Predator is there. For some reason, like, there's so many of them, I forgot where I was at, because I knew I'd played it through. I showed it. I showed Alien vs Predator on one of the videos to explain MAME, so there's that. Okay guys, so I'm going to show a couple of games, but also just once again want to mention the Collection Chamber. That is a very good website that has a lot of games that were released for certain systems or stuff that would be considered by some to be abandonware. Abandonware is also a very useful site for that sort of thing. But yeah, just want to mention, because that website really helped me out for getting the Silent Hill arcade game working. So yeah, the Collection Chamber is really good. I've played Marvel vs. Capcom Mystical. I think I've played it with a friend. It's a fighting game, and I'm not a big fighting game guy because I can never remember the combinations. Mystical. I like beat 'em up games because beat 'em up games there's less buttons to know. Most of the time, some of them have combos, but for the most part they don't. I'm going to show a really cool game actually right now. I'm going to show a Neo Geo CD game on the Neo Geo. So where's my mouse? There it is. Alright, go to Neo Geo. And the game I want to show is Cross Swords 2. Hopefully this is going to work. They're fun, Mystical. Some of my friends are really big fans of them. So I should be able to control this with this as well. With the controller here. Now this game was made for the Neo Geo CD. And if finding a Neo Geo was hard enough, finding a Neo Geo CD in working condition in the UK, my goodness. But funnily enough, there is a core for Neo Geo CD, but this doesn't work with it. Maybe you need a different BIOS. The BIOS I have for Neo Geo makes this game, even though this is a CD game, it could be the ROM file that is particular to this in actual fact, but this does seem to work with just MAME. I think it was the current version of MAME, but I could be wrong. So yeah, this works on MAME. It's a really interesting game. It plays a lot like Punch-Out, or you might know as Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, or Punch-Out with Mr. Dream. It plays a lot like Punch-Out, but it's like a fantasy-style battle game. So we're going to play a little bit of this. I spent a while talking about the games there, but I have a couple of games I want to show you guys, so we'll get through those. So let's play some of this. The screen's going to go black for a moment as it loads up, because that's just a thing that the capture device does. So we're going to load up this game. I find any Pokemon, Mystical? We'll see! Alright, let me know, guys, if the game volume is too loud. Because it's a peculiar setup we're using right now. But yeah, here we go with Cross Swords 2. There was Cross Sword 1s on there, but I wanted to show Cross Sword 2 in particular because this is a Geo Cd game. Alright, let's insert some coins. Select should do this for me. I'm going to go with 3 credits is normally how I go. Missed hearing about the Pokemon. You know, I've got to stream Pokemon at some time, Mystical. I talk about Pokemon a lot. People playing, like, the Elden Ring or Horizon. They fight all the monsters that look like Pokemon. Okay, so you can dash around. I don't think I've set up the buttons exactly as they should be here. Alright, pick our character. Go with this one. Mode 1. Okay. Let's crack you up with the Pokemon stuff, Mystical. The Messenger of Darkness. Okay. Hey Ronmo, how you doing, buddy? ECW. Okay, that's my dive button. I can block it up. Okay, they're all going for high attacks. You can jump as well. I used my magic there by accident, so the dash button also jumps. Very cool game. Plays a lot like Punch-Out, if you will. You can also like dash and attack as well. Yeah, take that. I think for the most part we need to block up on these guys, or just dodge them. Oh, went for a low attack. Okay, this guy goes to low, yeah. Then we can get him. First guy's gonna be easy. Medieval Punch-Out, exactly, Ron Moa. Exactly, you doing good? Good doing, my friend. I'm glad you're doing well. Thou stand in my way. Okay, let me know if the sound's alright, because I don't often stream directly from the PC that I'm streaming from. Often I would bring it in from another PC. I've also got noise cancelling set up on microphone, so that could be a problem as well. I blocked him. Hyper Rat. Hit me. Okay, jumped back. I'm gonna use my magic on him. It helps if he walks into it, I guess. Take that, Hyper Rat. All good, Seacrest. Good to hear, my friend. Oh, there goes a continue. I put 3 credits in, though. He didn't get his HP back, did he? Oh, he's got 2 HP bars. That's what's going on. Oh. Take that. Oh, boy. Guess I can use my magic again now. Yeah, that dealt a number to him. He exploded! Grab all of the gold. And the carrot. I missed the carrot. Missed the carrot, guys. Oh, I can pick an upgrade? Oh, this is a bit like Willow. What should I get? Increase my attack power. Or I can recover some life. Let's increase my attack power. Do I have the credits for that? Yes. Oh, it tells me what they do as well. Oh, okay. We're going to run out of time. I got better hit the exit. Good luck. Bit of Star Fox-esque. War returns. So this is the sort of game that is, like, to me, quite out of what I would normally be able to experience. Never even seen a Neo Geo CD in person. I know they are definitely, like, don't get me wrong, I know some places they're probably easy to find. Don't get me wrong. Just not Not where I'm at. Guys tend to go in for, yeah, upper strikes. There we go. So, Cobalt Hyper Rats. Alright, I like that it's nice and easy at the start. Golden Axe meets Punch Out. It definitely feels like that, Ron. It's pretty sweet, have to say. You can dodge as well to the side. I feel like blocking is my best bet, though. Let's use my magic. Ooh, the magic was better. I grabbed myself a turkey leg, I think. Whatever that was. Alright. Oh, I should have blocked low. I knew I should have blocked low. Or maybe just get out of the way. Yeah, get out of the way and just come back and slash him. Oop. There we go. Nice. Oh, got myself a turkey leg again. Let's get serious. Uh-oh. It's time to give Rat one last chance. Okay. I'm fighting the rat again? The graphics of this game look great. Mobile rat. Oh no. I'm gonna take out your minion first. Ow. Use my magic. There goes that guy. Oh boy. Can I stay away from that? Yes. I knew that was going to take me out. Imagine it's 2-player, that would be sweet. Oh, stay away from that. Got him this time. Oh, stay away from him if I can. He hasn't taken any damage yet. Okay, then he's coming in for upper attack. No, he's not. He's changed his tactic. That's right. That's right. You run away. Dude, this is really cool. Oh, I forgot to block that. Take that, mobile rat. Eat my lightning. Oh boy. Oh, you can interrupt him. Okay. Good to know. You can interrupt his attack. Oh, not when he punches you right in the face. Gotta get serious here. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. So there you go. That's a little bit of this game. Got a couple more games I want to show you guys as well. The next game I want to show you guys... We spoke about Alien vs Predator earlier. I want to show you guys Aliens as well on the arcade ROMs. Medieval Battle Class definitely feels like it for sure. So it's F1 to bring up the menu. Also, if your F1 button does other stuff, you might need to press function in F1. But here you can save state here if you want to, and this is also where you would change the controls if you need to. So you'd have to go quite far down, but then you get to the controls. And what I mean about the controls, if we go to the port 1 controls here, is that they're X, A, Y, and B here, for example, which does look like it's going to be the buttons on the controller, for example, but it's not. They always treat this button here as number 1. So, and it also, these might be numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4 instead. And they're often different on different cores of MAME you use as well. And then if you've done that and you want to save it, you save the game remap file. So if anyone wants to know how you save your game remap files, there you go, that's how you do it. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and play some Aliens. Very, very cool game on the arcade here. So I also want to show you guys the Zapper game as well. But I'm going to show you Aliens first. So here's Aliens on the arcade. I've set the controls up for this one as well. And this one I've been looking forward to giving a good go as well. Haven't played this one before on the arcade. I did a video recently where I showed on the Retro Freak how to run... It was Famicom Disk System games, and there was an Alien Famicom Disk System prototype game that nobody had ever played, and that was pretty cool. And this is a game I've never seen this arcade. I've played the on rails Alien game on the arcade before. I love that, but I haven't played this one before. And also, I couldn't really fit a full arcade machine in my house anyway, even if I could find one. I appreciate you guys lurking as well. Alright, let's play some Aliens. Screen might flash black here. As you can see there, it said that my remap file had loaded. So I have remapped the controls of this game. There's only 2 buttons. Okay, let's put some credits in. Abandoned settlement. I need to pause the game for 1 moment, because I've just realized that my sound source on my computer is set up incorrectly. So let me do that. There we go. All right. Now, that should be good, I think. You should still be able to hear the game after this. I was just making sure that the noise... So, I have 2 monitors, and it had defaulted to the one that I use for the OBS, and it was a bit louder, and I couldn't turn that down because that's the volume that I needed for everything else. So I just didn't want that to interfere with the other sound that was going on, because this game might get quite loud. Right. It's still done the same thing anyway. Never mind, it didn't change anything. All of the aliens. As long as you guys can hear me, it's fine, I guess. Missiles. Oh, see Newt in the background there. This is supposed to be Ripley. Ooh. Take that. Actually, I tell a lie, we have lost the game sound. Yes, we have lost the game sound. Okay, never mind. I will change that back then. Computers. This is why I normally do this from another computer. Alright, that should work now. Ripley, believe it or not, exactly. Right, you'll get the video back a second, because the music for this is really good. Different weapon. Oh. Oh. I'm getting hit a lot. The music is good, so you want to hear the music on this. Oh, also, I haven't been adjusting the screen size, which I could also be doing. Look. Ow. Oh, we went down. Oh. Oh. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Take that. I don't want to say what this thing looks like. Oh, game over. Alright, we'll go from the start, in fairness, because we had some technical difficulties. Yeah, I know, Ron. We all know it, right? So another thing is that I can't change the volume on my screen that's in front of me. So I normally have the volume coming out of the TV that is behind that, so that the volume is a lot lower. So that it doesn't interfere with the microphone. I've got noise cancelling on the microphone. Right. Oh, I've still got 2 credits in. Okay, so I didn't use up credit. We'll play it from the start so you guys can see the game in action. Oh, also we can run through the opening. I didn't show that, did I? I think I had this on during my game room tour, actually. Right. Or if I did have the opening, I can't remember. Put credit in. Hey, catch you later, Mystical. Thanks for checking out the stream, my friend. Hunt down and destroy the aliens. Okay, we'll write off the bit before this. Just pretend you didn't see all of that technical difficulties that happens in all streams. Like I said, guys, I would normally... The way I would do this normally would be through another computer. But as you saw, I had a lot of games set up. So I didn't want to set up all those games again. Oh, facehugger. Got the spread. There's Newt. There'll be a little sparing on this weapon. The classic Contra weapon. As you see, this game's got great visuals, great music. Three bullets is the weapon of choice right now. What's with these full-grown aliens coming out of the eggs? Did the Alien Queen do that? Was that a thing? And this weapon's going to be way better for this, but you can't dodge these other ones so easily that come directly next to you. Ow, still got hit. Actually, now I can stay to the side of them, I say, and still get hit. Oh, I got hit by everything there. Oh, I'm down to the BB gun. I mean, essentially though, the good thing about playing this on MAME as well is you can just keep pumping in credits if you want. I'm not going to say what that monster looks like. I mean, honestly, what does it look like? Oh. Oh boy. Game over. No, never. This time I'm pressing continue. I'm going to use this free credits. Normally I go for free credits. How's it still going about a head? Yeah, a little bit of like invincibility frames doing that. That's pretty good. What an alien concept, exactly, Ron. Oh, oh your rate of fire on this weapon is pretty bad. Oh, because I'm pressing the wrong button. I get you. I get it now. Oh. See, the other weapon, I could hold down the other button and continuously fire. But when I started this stage, that button was then the, like, missile button, if you will. And then this time I have to, like, hammer the button rather than hold it down. Oh. It's new. No! A gargoyle gunner? Unlimited. Unlimited. Exactly. In the modern age, Seacrest, we could play these games as much as we like. I once spent, like, £20 odd on Time Crisis, and that was when it was out on the PlayStation 1 at the time. Could have bought the game for that price. I remember just thinking, wow, I'm dumb. It was fun, but I could have bought the game. Oh. They come up behind you, it's the worst. Ooh, there's a weapon in there. Hey! Look at these guys throwing these. I got the spread again. Pew 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 pew. Oh boy. There's so many enemies. Oh, there's energy in there. Oh, that guy got me with his grenade. Oh, I stepped on the steam. Talking about letting off some steam. Then I missed the energy. Oh, they might be androids because they're blue. I know HDX knows all about the alien stuff. They had that Alien Isolation game that was like first person on the PC, but I hated that you couldn't jump in it. Oh, it's like playing elevator action now. Ow. Oh, we're still going. I thought I was out of coins. So many face huggers. Look at that. Loads of barrels. Bang. Alright, alright. Oh boy. I hope the screen size is alright. I can change it to the game being more full screen with less black borders. I just forgot to. We've had a fair few watchers. Ah, okay. Oh, we're still going. To my surprise. Oh boy. I was like, am I supposed to do something about that? Alright, we're out of coins. Maim your opponents. That's right. That's right, Ron. Anyway, there's a little bit of that. So let's go into the next game, which I will set the screen size. Aim up, be right. Yeah, I haven't played this one before, so good to know though. Good to know. But there you go. Aliens. All right, I'm gonna play another Aliens game next, actually, or I'm gonna show another Alien game. Aim high. I'm gonna show Alien 3. Which is this is a game I played on the arcade. I played House of the Dead. I loved these type of games where you could use a zapper. And, you know, sometimes these games, like the actual setup was actually a gun on top of an actual D-pad rather than using light phaser technology. Sometimes it was just a piece of plastic shaped like a gun on a D-pad was how it actually worked. But yeah, we're gonna do this. This should work, but if anything weird happens, it's because I'm using two screens. So like, MAME likes to like go crazy if I aim off screen, for example. So if anything weird happens now, it's because I'm using two screens. I'll try, and actually, with that said, I don't think I will be able to switch the screen size because it'll mess up. So yeah. Actually, I'll switch the screen size now. Then it will be correct. There you go. You get to see half of the text here. Alright. So now the button will be the shift button. Alright, I'll go 3 credits. When we raced to rescue the spaceship Sulu, after receiving an urgent message, we found an army of unknown creatures, the aliens. That scrolled by really quickly. Stage 1. Inside the spaceship Sulio. Alright, and this is a Zapper game. And this one you don't shoot off screen, which works here, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to. I just wanted to show how these 3D games do work on this system. Oh, I got flamethrower, nice. You reload on this one by releasing from the fire button periodically. Yeah. Take that. I loved this game on the arcade. Thought it was just the most amazing thing ever. Nice. Like, 3D perspective, firing. It was like ridiculously cool. There might be some transparency issues with this game, but other than that... Gotta get these eggs. That's a lot of creepy crawlies. Ooh. Ooh. Eggs everywhere. Oh my goodness. Ooh. There's so many targets on screen. I like how the automated defense are going after me, not the aliens. Alright.
Something's inside.
Oh, that digitized voices there. Oh. Be easier to do this with a zapper, obviously. If you were to use that. Always found dragging a mouse across the screen to be a little bit less intuitive. Oh. Super face hugger. Ooh. Ah! Fire everywhere! That was cheap. Take that, super face hugger. You're super destroyed, that's what. Hey, there you go. Very fun game, very cool to try this one out, for sure. We crash landed on the planet, the EEV, but it's too late. The planet had already been covered with a nest of aliens. That scrolls by really quickly. Stage 2. Act 1. Fury. We'll walk through the fire. Item. Hey, flamethrower, nice. Flamethrower is a little bit detrimental, I think, because it does more damage, yes, but can't see what you're doing with all that flame on the screen. A lot of aliens. Prefer the BB gun. Look at that rain effect. Oh. Okay. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Which button is it? Nope, not that button. Okay, I'll use the start button on the controller. It's the fire button. No, oh, I clicked off screen. See, that's what I said might happen. It's the fire button. Item. Oh, it's behind. Yeah, so this would work easier if I was doing it for another computer. Oh, it is a great looking game for sure, Seacrest, yeah. Oh great, now I have to deal with landmines as well. Why would we go through a field of landmines whilst also dealing with aliens? Oh, there are items behind these. Okay, cool. Sometimes, anyway. Shot the arms off that thing, it kept going. Yeah, what I used to like dream of playing a game like this at home. For sure. It's like the coolest thing. That's a lot of rebel. Robots. These assassin droids from the Star Wars. Well, low on hit points now. Oh, okay. I know now that it is the fire button. You know, the Star Wars, whenever they have a battle, it's against a giant planet ship that has the same weak spot at the top that they took on from last time. Oh, look at that mist effect. But in Star Trek, now that's a real sci-fi. They have conflict, they stop and have a conference. Oh. I think that The enemy of the ball, what were they called? Species 8472, I think? Weird that I remember that. From Voyager, well, a bit of a rip-off of Aliens. Now I have to fight a tank? I don't want to fight a tank. Scanning. The weak point. The weapons? The weapons. Oh, these. Okay. Like how it tells me, like, shoot the things. Oh, okay. Pull the trigger. Yeah. Oh, now it's flying. That's not fair. Oh, this thing is totally taking me out. I think I am damaging it, but it's not very much. Okay. Oh, route continues. Okay, I thought that thing was going to wreck me anyway. So there's that. And then the other thing I want to show is Willow the Arcade game. I've actually completed Willow the Arcade game. It's a very cool arcade game. Let me go ahead and press the F1 button once we get a game over here. Alright. Now, at least for that, let's go ahead and change the screen size. So, Willow. Easiest way to get to that, because it's right at the end anyway, will be here. This time I will remember to change the screen size before we go into the game. Now this is another really good game, and such a great film as well. So I really wanted to show a little bit of this game for you guys. Alright. She wants to destroy the holy baby Elora Danan, the evil queen. He was selected as a protector of Elora Danan against Queen Balamora, a peace-loving man, Willow of Good. He joins Willow's fight against General Keel, a fateful rival, a brave warrior. A super game from the Capcom, coming this summer. A magnificent fantasy filled with love, friendship, and adventure. I wish this game had got a port. Admittedly, there are a couple of hard things about it. I'll go 3 credits. Now, sometimes this game can glitch out and stop letting you put credits in. It's another thing that can happen. Okay, you start off as Willow, but you can use different characters on this. You'll have a day off tomorrow. For sure, it's nice. It's a nice change of pace as well, right? Now you have a power up here. Oh, I apologise. That sound is piercing. But you need to power up in this game. Your different magics have different effects based on the power level. Also, you need to grab these coins. It's very important. As a matter of fact, I would recommend. Even you are timed on this game, which is problematic, obviously, but I would recommend, as much as you can, farming coins in the early stages of this game. It's an arcade game, they don't let you hang around forever, there is a timer, obviously. Well, I got hit then, that's unfortunate. I haven't played in a while, I forgot the controls. Could not open that chest. Decided to jump over the edge. I'm counting that as a freebie, I'm adding in a free continue to that. There you go. You need the coins. Right, so don't speak to the wizard until you're ready to speak to the wizard, because once you speak to them, they disappear. Did not mean to do that. Been a while since I played this, so I've forgotten how to get into the doors. And you will be very tempted to upgrade your health. That guy gonna come out of there? No? Okay. Oh crap. I think that guy's appeared because I spent too long. Yep. Yeah, so... But I have completed this game before. I can't remember how to get into that doorway. It's not essential, but... it kind of help. Bam! Yeah, never mind, I'll figure it out later. How much gold have I got? Okay, never mind, I'll speak to the wizard. I hope yes, you may help me. 850. So you need to buy the magic. That creases. The sword is for the other character. So you'll be really tempted to get, like, more life. Can't afford that. You will need that, but at least initially you'll want the better magic. Because you need the better magic to beat the bosses. And what it will do is when you charge up the magic past a certain point, it'll make a different attack. I'm going to put some credits in. Make up for my blunder earlier. Yeah, see... Oh, crap. Then I walked off the edge. What am I like? I'm super rusty on this game, as evident. I have beaten that boss though, so I don't need to beat him again. You saw how many hits that boss took without that item. Crap. This one I can go in? No. I'm getting a lot of trouble for doing that. I'm sure you can go in those holes. I'm not being crazy. I just don't know what button it is. Let's see, I got some new magic there. No clue how to get in those holes. Still. That's all the buttons. No, I must be wrong. I'm sure I remember going in those. Damn it. How much gold have I got? Not enough. I really don't want to speak to that guy until I've got enough gold to buy a power-up. Oh boy, yeah, it's been too long. Okay. Gotta move. Magic here's gonna help. Looking for is in the hands of Willow. It would be wise to give up. This boss is a lot harder if you don't have the power up. I jumped into that. See, I would have been better off having an extra. I missed him. Unfortunate. Must have misremembered about those doors. One of the things you have to do is you have to build up the coins. It's a little bit... Damn it. I keep jumping into those. Now I keep missing him. It's a little bit like... You kind of have to know what you're doing because you have to build up. Like I needed the extra hit point here. Really, to be completely fair, I needed the extra hit point. You needed to build up the. You need to build up your coins, and like the end boss, for example, is impossible if you haven't built up the coins. And I really needed that extra life. Ah man, I keep getting hit by that, even though I'm jumping over it. Damn it, I pressed the wrong button. And I jumped into it again. Anyway, this is a really good game. I'm just, it's been a while since I've played it. Man, I'm getting hit by that, even though I'm jumping over it. Oh, I thought for sure it was going to go high then. I jumped up in that, man. Yeah, the extra life point would have been really helpful here. That's the sort of thing you need to know when you start the game. Like, I've forgotten. Definitely jumped over that. Need all the coins. Because like I mentioned, the gold is very important. Thank you very much for saving me. To show my appreciation, I will join your fight. It's much smoother than it went in the film. Okay, so as you can see now, you switch character. His attack power will be down as well. But we can upgrade that soon on. Oh man, I thought I could jump to avoid those. I was wrong. Maybe it's here I'm thinking where the doors you can go in. Maybe. I may have set up the controls wrong as well. The problem is I find that Willow controls much better than this guy. Because Willow has a ranged attack. There's also so much like cheap enemies like jumping into you. From above. Don't you fire that arrow at me. Can you hit me from down here? I think shops will be open tomorrow. Sometimes they are, Seacrest. Depends what shops really. I think places like often eateries are still open on bank holidays, and Places like CEX will be. I think the smaller places are more likely not to be, I think. Oh, did I miss my chance to get in there? That's a shame. Could have done with that. Oh, I was supposed to jump up higher. He can't get me from there, can he? Can the Aero Archer get me from there? I don't think so. You get a lot of coins here. Oh, they can hit you from there. That's unfortunate. But this is one of those games where it's like, you know, it makes you frustrated but in a good way. Like impassioned frustration. So I do have to go in the shop here. I've got 4,000. I hope that's enough to get both of the things I want. Missed a chest there. Makes me want to go get it and then go back in the shop. I think I'm going to do that. If I survive, that is. The axe thrower might take me out. He did. Never mind. I'll just go in the shop. See, it's up to go into stuff. So I was trying on those doors, but I must have misremembered. Can I pick up another Wii game? Sequest? That's for sure. They're often pretty cheap. He asked you if you want to go in the shop because you only get like one chance. I'm just gonna buy the magic. Oh, I can't use it, so it won't let me. Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna buy an extra life point. Those axe wielders are the worst. I got hit by the fire there, and I fell through the floor. And I fell in a nasty trap. Chandeliers, oh dear. I can't believe I got hit by that. I'm doing more credits. I'm doing it! But yeah, if you don't buy the attack power-ups, like obviously I needed an extra life from that last boss. Didn't need, but it would have really helped. If you don't buy the attack power-ups, you cannot beat the bosses. Like, you just can't. You don't have the power you need to do certain things. Like, your different attack powers do different things the further up you go. I thought there'd be another guy there. There you go. There'll be another one of those. Oh, I thought I could swing on the chain. Never mind. It's just a single guard. He'll only give me 1 coin. Oh, I'm a dummy. I walked right into that. Take out this guy. Yeah, I missed my chance on that chest earlier. I was ducking, good sir. Good sir, I was ducking that attack. Can't go back in the shop again, I believe. And he hits you even if you're ducking. Okay, good to know. Gotta be quick on those guys. Oh, this stage. I remember this stage. Yep. Knew that was coming. I've upgraded my weapon as much as I can. Yeah, okay, I just needed to be closer to him. Yeah, this stage was the worst. Oh crap. There's an arrow guy on the other side. They could have ported this to consoles though. They just would have had to have made it easier. Crap. Oh, I can't hit him, he's too far away. I'm in so much trouble. Not the birds as well. I remember this stage. Oh boy, I remember this stage. Unless you continue from points though. They even hit you if you duck those archers. Even if you're ducking, they hit you. Yeah, it's a tough game. See that? Like, how do you avoid getting hit? There's no avoiding getting hit. Alright. The bird got me. I need this guy to get closer. There we go. Got him, nice. Oh, we made it. It's such a tough stage. Great music on this game as well. I am spirit of the forest, the child you are searching for. Is it the queen, the kingdom of peace? Can't read anything. As we saw earlier. Hey, we're back to this character. I really want to upgrade my magic. These guys are really bad because they fire bombs. Look at that. As far away as I was, I still got hit twice. See, their spread is so powerful. You need that gold though, you need it. Open! Got enough for the next power up. Which I might get now. Nope. Gonna get taken out now. Oh, I did not put any continues in. Okay, well there you go guys. There you go. So, that was just, oh my goodness, I didn't put the name in. Hope that doesn't stick. Right guys, yes. Indeed. Indeed. The... Oh, my goodness, I forgot that it gave you the screen and then you get to go to the... Yeah, I forgot how that works. Anyway, guys. Yes. Yes. There you go, guys. I'm out of practice on Willow, obviously. But it's a fantastic game. You can get you can change it so it doesn't have like pop-ups when you start the game as well. Sometimes that cuts into the start of the game cinematics as well. I did that on the other computer. Yeah, so if you play Willow, the main thing to remember is like power up your weapons, and it's a fun game. You may have to remap the controls, as was evident in all of those. But as you can see, Neo Geo games work on RetroArch with the right core. As you can see, I'm using like a MAME 2003 version core for Willow. You know, like almost 20-year-old core for this game. but it had some issues with the other versions. I think MAME 2010, if I'm correct in thinking that, was the one that works best for Aliens. I can actually... Why don't I just actually check? So, most of them I have set for like the modern version of MAME. But for Alien 3, it was 2010. Yeah, so a 10-year-old version of MAME. That's the one that's set up best for most of the Zapper games I have found. And then, yeah, you need to have the right BIOS for the Neo Geo games, which is out there to find. But yeah, guys, a lot of fun to be sharing this experience with you. There's definitely some stuff I need to update on this side of it. I need to organize these a little better. There were some redundancies in there, and definitely some games I do want to come back to. Like, just playing Willow for that moment was like, oh man, it was such a good game. Hey Digicon, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you dropping by. Yeah, Willow's such a good game, and it's a game that is challenging in a good way. So it's like, man, I wanna play that again. Not like, oh, that was so cheap. Because I mean, in the arcade, yes, you would spend all of the coins, but in this instance, a lot of fun. You just need to remember that tactic to upgrade your weapons. Actually, it's odd that upgrading your weapons is more important than upgrading your life. Because first time I played that game, I upgraded my life points, and it was not conducive to beating the end boss. You need to have certain powers, certain attacks, the way they attack and the way they hit the screen. Otherwise, you won't be able to hit certain enemies. Yeah, you need the extra power as well. But anyway, guys, yeah, but played a bunch of MAME games. We talked about how to run certain games. I just want to mention again that the Collection Chamber is a very good website that has Silent Hill Arcade, if that interests you. It definitely interested me. You need to use the Sega Model 2 emulator, which is actually not on RetroArch, it's its own thing, if you want to play games like The House of the Dead. I think that also does games like Virtual Cop as well, to be honest. So that's a thing you can do. But for the most part, RetroArch does a lot of the stuff you saw on this stream. Most of that stuff does work on RetroArch, so it's really cool. And it's been a lot of fun. I showed you guys Neo Geo game, I showed you guys a platformer, showed you guys a Zapper game, an on-rails shooter, and then a little bit of Willow at the end there. Bunch of 3D games as well. I'm trying to get to work. Having a couple of computer-related issues as well, because especially when it comes to things like, as you guys know, I'm actually, the bot just mentioned it in the chat. I'm doing a D&D channel and I'm having problems with the video editing program I've been using. I'm having to do a lot of work on that, so that's happening there. Oh, Ron, you streamed without... I just saw your comment. Sorry, I was engrossed in a battle. You were playing a game that had no sound. Nobody complained. Oh man. Yeah, I've been there. Everyone's kind of engrossed, and kind of slips by. My sound setup wasn't great here, so what I would normally do with a PC game is I would put it into my capture card, my Elgato, which is right here. I would put another PC via HDMI into this. That's how I would normally stream my PC games. And just so that I have another computer to do that, and then I can do all of my sound set up so that the volume doesn't exceed a certain level for the in-game sound and stuff like that. That tends to help out on that respect. So the same way I would do consoles as well. It's just a lot easier, I find, to do it that way. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun to play some MAME arcade games. We're going to have to do this some other time. I showed you guys a couple of snippets of some games last time that I thought were interesting and unusual, that you may not have heard of, despite how they might have been perceived. So they were interesting games, and for sure some of these games I would love to come back and stream for an entire session. Definitely, Willow is definitely up there. If I'm able to find the time to do that, that'll definitely be something I'd like to do. There's a lot of games coming down, a lot of videos coming down in the pipeline as well, so I'm excited about that, and a lot of cool stuff to show you guys in the near future. But anyway, guys, thanks for checking out this it's sort of impromptu live stream for some MAME arcade games. Appreciate you guys dropping by whenever you dropped by for however long. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. You've been awesome. I've been MVL, and I will catch you next time.